The 18 to 55 millimeter EFS kit lens, whatever you want to call it, if you are still using this and you are complaining about your photos and they're too grainy, they're too soft, they don't have the quality that you want them to have, it's probably this, and it's not your camera. So let's talk about a different lens that you can use that will not hurt your piggy bank and will definitely improve the quality of work. Let's talk about the 17 to 55. This is the Canon 17 to 55 millimeter f2.8, and if you are looking for a new lens that is not a kit lens, this is possibly your best choice. I think most beginners, when they start out, think they need to upgrade immediately to a new camera body. They want to jump from, like I've mentioned before in the past, the Rebel to an R5 or an R6, but necessarily that isn't the way to go. Lenses is definitely what you need to start upgrading once you get into more photography. Kit lenses, they get you started, they get you running, but a kit lens like the 55 to 250 or the 18 to 55, they're inconsistent, they're terrible in low lighting, they really limit your ability to separate the subject from the background, etc. A whole bunch of different problems. But this lens fixes that. This lens gives you three things that immediately level up your photos. So let's go over those three things, and maybe I'm convincing you to get this lens. First thing we're going to talk about is the aperture. This lens is a constant f2.8. I zoom in, 2.8. I zoom out, 2.8. It's amazing. With a kit lens like the 18 to 55, you zoom in, you lose light. Your aperture always changes and your exposure is always shifting, and with this it stays at the constant 2.8 that I need it to, no matter how much I'm zooming in or zooming out. Better low light, better background blur, and more control. Second thing on the list is low light confidence. If you've ever shot indoors and your images look noisy, too grainy, or too dark, this helps. This lens is amazing. f2.8 lets in way more light, and that means cleaner images and less fighting your settings mid-shoot. And third thing on the list is versatility. On a crop sensor, this thing covers everything, like anything you could think of. Wide enough for group photos, tight enough for portraits. I've shot paid work with this lens and it's super dependable. This comes with me everywhere I go. And you may be thinking, well, I could easily just go ahead, keep my 18 to 55 and just upgrade the body. Why don't I just do that instead? And I get it, you know, when you upgrade your camera body, it makes you feel like you're progressing a lot as a photographer. But if you're still using a kit lens, upgrading your camera body usually gives you a slightly better version of the same look, if that makes sense. You know, kit lenses, they hold variable aperture. So when you zoom in, you lose light, and that forces your camera to crank up the ISO, and you lose the quality of the image very easily. And that's not you being a bad photographer, that's just you fighting with your own gear, which you don't want that. If you get a great lens on a mid-tier camera, you get great results too. But if you put a cheap lens on an expensive camera, your images are still going to look cheap. Now, this is a great lens for people who maybe are tired of using the kit lens, or you're ready for, you know, your first big boy lens, but you're just not ready to drop thousands on, you know, like an L series lens. You know, everybody wants that red ring when they're using Canon lenses, but sometimes they're just super expensive. And you don't want to spend thousands of dollars on a brand new camera body if you still don't have a good lens too on top of that. So this is like a good midpoint for that. And if you're doing portraits, small gigs, events, family photos, even weddings, this lens gives you professional looking results without having to change your whole setup. And if you're shooting on a Canon crop sensor, this is perfect for you because this is an EFS mount. You know, it's true to the 17 to 55. I believe this is equivalent to the 24 to 70. So another price hack there. Instead of spending a couple thousand on the 24 to 70 L series lenses, buy the 17 to 55. It's the exact same thing. And, you know, just way cheaper. It's going to give you more control, more confidence, more consistency, and that's what separates hobbyists from people who are ready to start charging for this job. A lot of beginners don't need new gear, they need fewer limitations, and this lens removes those limitations, trust me. Now let's be honest, just like my last video, this lens is not for everyone. If you are switching to a full frame camera soon, like maybe the 5D Mark IV, this doesn't make sense long term. It's an EFS mount, so it is designed for crop sensors. I believe you'll actually end up losing more quality if you put this on a full frame. You start losing I don't know what it is exactly, the science behind it, I could look it up, but you definitely start losing quality apparently. And it's older, it's heavier, it's not trendy, you don't really hear about this lens that much, but it works. If you're still stuck feeling like your work isn't progressing, really ask yourself, is it really your camera or just the glass that you have on the camera? My only complaints about this lens is it's not like a 1.4 lens, like a prime lens, which is understandable. It's a zoom lens, so it's not gonna have crazy aperture, but 2.8 is enough to get majority of the work done. It is a great lens. It is heavy. I can't place this on my camera without my camera tipping forward. It's just a very heavy lens. For some reason they didn't put like the lock on this thing, so like it just falls through, like if I have my camera leaning downwards, which isn't a big problem. I'm not recording like downwards unless I'm doing like a downward shot. So one pro I will say about this lens is the image stabilization. The image stabilization is amazing on this thing. On top of the fact that I already have steady hands from taking videos so much, and then on top of that, the image stabilization in post, when I go ahead and stabilize the video even more, it's just the smoothest playback you can ever think of. It's amazing. You would really think that like I'm using like a gimbal, but I'm not. The image stabilization in this lens is great. So again, if you are looking to leave the kit lens behind but don't want to spend thousands on like an L series, and this is just a small investment before you switch to RF lenses, definitely go straight for this. This is an amazing lens. Remember, if you are struggling to get like better images or better video and you feel like it's your camera but you're shooting on a kit lens, it is probably just a kit lens. Trust me. I know I always mention my Rebel XT and XTI, but I had the Rebel XT and I shot on the 70-200 before, and the photos that came out of that camera were just amazing. Some of my best photos came out of that 70-200 mixed with the Rebel XT. Don't automatically blame the camera. Sometimes the camera does play a part, but this stuff is very important, especially when you're trying to work. Don't even try working with an 18-55 or a 55-250. 55-250 is a pretty good kit lens, but the 18-55, just sell it, bro. Just get rid of it. Anyways, definitely look into the 17-55. It is so worth it. Super cheap. Go on mpb.com, find one used. I got this one for like 250 bucks. Best purchase ever. If this helped you think about your gear differently, stick around. Subscribe, like the video, comment down below what you think. I take any suggestions really. And if you're trying to level up without wasting money on gear that you really don't need, you're in the right place. I started my full-time photography in August of 2025 and I've gotten so many shoots, so I feel like I could kind of talk about this and you guys will be seeing me upgrade and my path of upgrading all my gear on these YouTube videos. And I'll take you guys along with me one step at a time. So definitely stick around for more videos every week. I'm trying to start being more consistent. This is 2 weeks in a row now, every Wednesday. But yeah, definitely leave a comment, leave a like, and subscribe. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next week.